Hey everyone. So it's been a little while. I've been taking a little hiatus from social. Well, I work some stuff with my wife and my family and get some things ready for 2025. Although I wanted to drop in here with something I've been working on a little bit lately. I call it the power of five. And the power of five, these are five major things to becoming a great leader and a great being for yourself. And these are things that I'm putting a program together on. And I just wanted to quickly drop in here and talk about them very briefly. And the first one is the power of ownership. And we've talked a lot about personal responsibility and taking ownership over our lives. And that's really the first superpower to becoming a great leader, uh, great being, a human being. And so when you take ownership over your life, you're not blaming, you're not complaining, you're not pointing fingers, and you own each part of your life and what it means to be yourself and own those things about yourself. It helps you become a real leader. And I can go on and on and on about this, but I'm going to briefly touch on each of these and we'll get into more details at a later time. The next is the power of listening. So many times do we spend going, oh man, I hope this person stops soon. Oh, I've heard this before. When in reality, if we stop and we actually hear and we actually listen, there's gold in virtually every conversation that we have. Every person that we listen to has some sort of gold. In fact, one of my declarations is I am open to hearing any information presented to me, even if I've heard it before. I do not use the phrase I know. Because when you throw up that word I know, you sound kind of like a know-it-all and the wall goes up. They're not going to want to share with you anymore. So be open to hearing the power of listening and listen for the gold in each and every conversation that you have with everybody, family, friends, coworkers, business colleagues, whatever it is. The next one is the power of language. And language is huge. You know, I catch myself, I catch others sometimes. When you're speaking negative into the world or you're speaking negative about somebody else, you're creating that world of negativity around you and it's contagious to other people. So when you speak positive and you speak positive, you find good things about other people. You know, power of language is also about acknowledgement. When you're acknowledging other people and acknowledging yourself for the good things that you bring and the good things that you have, that's what you're creating. You're creating that positive, powerful world of language. You know, and there's things that, like, I've heard people say, well, I'm not good at this. Or you could say, I used to not be good at this. You know, it all starts right now, just like the clock on the wall. So anyway, the power of language. Again, I could talk about each one of these for a long time, but I'm just going to touch on it real briefly in here. The next is the power of commitment. You know, I love what Chris Dorris says in the Mental Toughness Mantras, and I think it was actually Devin Bandison who said it in the foreword, but Chris Dorris has a saying, I did what I said I was going to do. And that's huge. That's huge about, and you know, I could go on and on. I do a whole thing on expectations versus agreements, but it all comes down to that commitment. When we say we're going to do something, and guess what? Every once in a while, we've got to break a commitment. It's not easy to do. I know it really weighs on me when I don't. I forgive myself shortly after, although it happens sometimes. However, when you practice and actively practice doing what you say you're going to do, when you say you're going to do it, it doesn't mean become a yes person. You know, like if you know somebody asks you, hey, can you have this project done by Friday? Well, if you really can't, you don't have the time, you don't have the resources, don't commit to that. Say, you know what? I really need until next Friday. Or can you give me somebody to assist me so I can make sure and have it done by Friday? So doing what you say you're going to do is huge. So the power of commitment, that's the other superpower. The power of action. Power of action is just what it sounds like. You know, you've heard me talk about before, you know, a lot of people have used the phrase consistency is key. I respectfully disagree that consistent action is actually key. So if you don't act on the things you're learning, you don't act on the things that you say you're going to do, then all the rest of those other superpowers go out the window. So take action on the things you're learning and on the things that you say you're going to do or that are on your calendar, because that will really make the difference in becoming that great leader, becoming that great superpower. One of the death phrases is, I will do that later. That's procrastination. The general rule of thumb is if you can do it within an hour, then do it now. Or get it on your calendar so you make sure you get it done. Uh, that I feel like I'm missing one. The power of ownership, listening, language, commitment. No, I got them all. So those are the five, the power of five. And so I'm putting together a whole program on this. In fact, the next time I go back to Amazon, I'm likely going to talk about this power of five to help train that leadership team again coming up this quarter. So anyway, that's what I got for you today. The power of five. Think about those things. The power of ownership, the power of listening, the power of language, the power of commitment, and the power of action. You put those five superpowers together and you become the super leader, the super being. So anyway, that's what I got for you today. Make it a great day, everybody. And always remember, never forget to be schmaltzy. Take care, my friends. Awesome. Awesome.